Welcome back to another Millennial Monday with your awesome host, me. I hope everyone had a good 4th of July. I hope you got some reading done, spent time with your family. I spent my 4th of July weekend in a national park in a cabin in the middle of the woods. No cell phone service, no internet, board games, another board game, no sleep, carbs. So in this episode of Millennial Monday, let's find out where Mercedes read on her vacation. Let's get ready for another Millennial Monday. Survive the Night by Riley Sager has been on my TBR list, and now it is on my read pile. Look at me actually whittling that list down. Go me. So instead of buying 50 more books and putting them on my TBR pile saying, I'm going to get to them, I swear, I actually picked up a book that I had been meaning to read. I read it. I know, I'm shocked too. This book was perfect, a creepy thriller that was atmospheric and perfect to read in the dark. It is a book with many twists and turns. Charlie is a college student whose entire life has been destroyed when her best friend and roommate is slain by the campus killer, a serial killer who takes the souvenir of a tooth when they kill their victims. Charlie just wants to go home to her Nana. She wants to find some perspective from this tragedy and maybe find some peace in her life. But it's 1991 and finding a ride home is a little complicated. But then she meets Josh Baxter at a rideshare board. She thinks she might have found her ticket home. He is going to Ohio too. But once she's in the car with him, she starts to realize that Josh is lying about who he is. And he could possibly be the serial killer that murdered her best friend. Without a phone and trapped in a car with a potential murderer, what will Charlie do? And the fact that it's 1991 means there is no cell phones. There is a lot of the technology that we don't have today. And when you're on the road with a complete stranger in the middle of the night, you saving yourself from a possible serial killer becomes a lot more complicated. There are several things that are really unique about this story that I appreciated when I started reading. One of them is that this book is written like a movie or in kind of a script format. It does feel like a movie when you're reading it. The beginning of the chapters tell you your location and gives you kind of a time. So it's like interior, dorm room, night. And even the very first part of the book is written like a film script. Fade in, parking lot, the middle of night, the middle of nowhere. Beginning at the end like a great film noir, Bill Holden dead in the swimming pool, Fred McMurray giving his last confession, going full circle like a noose. And the ending of the book as well is very twisty and turny, and the fact that it is written in a movie script format, the ending of the book gives it that little bit more like twist ending in a movie. So if you like horror movies, scary movies, you like thrillers, I really recommend Survive the Night by Riley Sager. And I will say this is a pretty short book. It's like 300 pages. And so this was a one night read for me, and I think it will be for you too. Welcome to Mercedes Board Game Corner. I find that when I am on vacation, I do like to read books for 8.5 hours out of the day, but sometimes I also like to read cards too. And here at the Scott County Public Library, we check out board games. Maybe you didn't know, but yes, we have tons of board games you can check out with your library card. And I'm going to talk about some of my favorites that I played on my vacation. When you check out a board game, which is located near the back door, near the tech hub. So if you were coming in the very back door, you would take a left and they would be right there on shelves where you would be able to see them. They are in this bag and they are called our experience kits. And you will be able to open them up, and this right here has all the information about what the game is about, what comes in it, what pieces are in here, and it kind of tells you also a little bit about how to get started. The board games themselves usually come with these rubber bands, so they're not going to go anywhere or fly around from inside that bag. And this is one of the first ones I want to talk about today, Camel Up. This is actually a reprint of an older game. They've redone the box. So if you look this up online, it may have a different cover, but this is the newest one. And this is a really fun family racing game where you are betting on a camel to win the race. It's a really simple game. The instructions are right here. They're nice and big and easy to read with lots of pictures. We make sure too to laminate all of our rule books so that way if you spill anything on it or whatever, you can just wipe them off. And one of my favorite things about Camel Up is it would have to be the board. Like, I absolutely love this board. So you open it up and you're like, magic, like absolute magic. Look at that palm tree. It's amazing. So this is the board and this is the camel racetrack down here that the camels race on. And it's a pretty simple, easy betting game where you are playing cards of which camel you think is going to come in first. And then you roll dice to move the camels down the track. It even comes with its own little pyramid dice roller. So you stick the dice in there, you stick pyramid on top, and then you push this button and the dice rolls out. We check out our board games the same as we do a book. So you get the board game for 3 weeks. And usually that's enough time for everyone to play a few rounds with their family. The other board game that I wanted to talk about today is Century Gollum Edition. This is a themed version of Century, which is a fun little card game where you are using gems to buy golems, to get more cards, to try to get points. It's a completely point-based game, so you're trying to race to get a certain number of points to win. As you can see, the instructions once again are laminated, and the instructions for this game is 1 page. So it is a pretty super simple, easy game. And the thing that I absolutely love about this game is the pieces that come with it. So there is all of these beautiful little gems that you are playing with and collecting to get these cute and adorable little Gollum cards. This is like my absolute favorite Gollum card. He's just stomping some grapes. He's doing his best. He's so adorable. We've got another Gollum that you can buy, and he's like herding sheep. We have tons of games for you to check out. So the next time you're in the library, come by and check out our experience kits, and you can take some board games home for you and your family. In Andy Weir's newest novel, Project Hail Mary, the end of the world is closer than we could have predicted. And it all started with a weed. A space weed by the name of astrophage. Pretty sure that's how you say it. It is slowly eating and killing the sun, undoing all of that global warming that humans for the last century have been creating. Now the planet is on the brink of collapse, and not from global warming, but from freezing temperatures. One scientist wakes up on humanity's last hope called Project Hail Mary, a spaceship that has been launched to find something to kill the space algae that is killing their sun. The scientist who wakes up in a pod has no memories of how he got there. And the two other pods that contain his co-astronauts, well, they malfunctioned and he's the lone survivor on the ship. Will he be able to figure out who he is and figure out how to stop the space algae from killing the sun? I loved The Martian. Did I understand all the science? Okay, Mercedes, so it's really, really simple. Star plus squiggle equals 2 diamonds. And that's how you get the acceleration of unicorns. Do you want a pizza pocket? No, I did not understand any of the science. As far as I'm concerned, it's blah, 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 blah. But Andy Weir has always been an author that's big scientific novels have been easy for me to digest. I don't need to know how the science works. Though I will say, the pictures of the rocket ship in the beginning of the book are pretty awesome. For me, the book is about humanity and how amazing humans can be under the most dire circumstances. This book is about science and space algae, but for me, it's really a novel about humans and how we react when we are put under pressure. This book was everything I could have possibly wanted out of a science fiction novel, and I will be giving it a 5 out of 5 stars. Though that doesn't seem like enough. And so I will be giving this book my very first 5 out of 5 galaxies. So if you want a science fiction novel where you can ignore the science and get on board with the weird, I really recommend Project Hail Mary by Andy Weir. And that's going to be it for me for another Millennial Monday. Thank you so much for joining me today. Make sure to like us on Facebook and check out our website at www.scottpublib.org for a list of all of our upcoming programs, to check out our catalog, or to even apply for your own library card. Now, let's dance party out of here.